I'm Ron West with Clemson football. I've had an opportunity to be coaching college football and now for 25 years in Division 1A. And with the 9 years with Coach Bowden, Tommy Bowden, one of the things that we've done is Rich Rodriguez and Tommy Bowden back when we were at Tulane and also when we first came to Clemson is off of every base run that we have, our zone scheme, our counter scheme, our dart scheme, which I did lectures on that with Coach's Choice, we have a reverse off of that. And so what we're fixing to do is look at some shotgun reverses that we've done. Also, we're going to look at maybe our new scheme that we put in about 3 years ago, which was our tight zone scheme, and we'll look at some of our orbit reverses. We may mix those in there too if we have time. But the point is, off our base runs, we're going to try to always have a reverse off of that. And we'll get started in the video. All right, the shotgun reverse scheme, the philosophy, what we're trying to do, we have developed a system that we have built a reverse off of our base runs. That's what I was talking about earlier. The purpose is to take advantage of the speed teams that we play and their pursuit. We want to force the defense to play the perimeter. This enables us to have better numbers inside to run the football. So that's what we're trying to do with this. All right, we'll start off with the shotgun reverse counter Y Vegas. What this is off the counter scheme, and these are the rules. All right, I'm gonna have to draw up several looks, so we'll make sure we got it. Play side tackle, B gap to the backside, backer, post drive technique. And I'll show you that. Now, if we call even, that means one of the guards are covered. Okay, so if you bought the video on the counter, then adding this lecture to it, you're just going to find out that everything's built off the counter. It should look like the counter. Then we have a play action off this same formation and this same blocking scheme. So even means one of the guards are covered, and it gives us our blocking schemes. All right, so play side tackle, B gap, backside, linebacker, post drive technique. Play side guard, A gap, backside, linebacker, post drive technique. Center, no A gap defender, weak, make a me call, and now you're going to pull and block or trap the first man off the tackle's hip. Play side. A gap defender weak, you're going to make a U call, and then you're going to block play side, backside A gap. You're going to block backside A gap. Allow no penetration. And that's why we call it Vegas. It's going to be an alert key to let us know it's a reverse and where the ball is going to be shuffled at. A and B gap's covered weak, we'll make a breeze call and block backside A gap. All right, let me just draw up what I just said so you can see this and you can understand it a little bit better. All right, so a lot of times we ran this formation out of Rio, wing, counter, Y, Vegas. We would have called this 25 Y Vegas, but that's how it was called. All right, so personnel-wise, this is our X, this is our F. This is right here, it would be our Y, this would be our H, and this would be our Z. Real wing, 25 Y Vegas. All right, now what we're going to do, if you watched our videos, we've run quarterback counter out of this scheme. We've run a play action out of this scheme, and now we're going to run a reverse out of this scheme. All right, let's start with an even structure. I said an even structure is the defense is covering one of the guards. So we're going to put 6 in the box. So that means that if we put 6 in the box, seven, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Let's do it that way. And they're covering them down like that. Okay, they got 6 in there, which means right now they're probably in some type of man-free concept or zero coverage. The only way to be in man-free is probably remove the linebacker and let him cover the F-back. Let's say they did that. Let's go man-free or some kind of concept like that. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to block our counter rules. So he's the A-gap player. He's the B-gap player. They're using a PD technique. Coach's Choice did a video on how we teach the post-drive technique, and we showed combo blocks and how we do that. All right? The center's making a U-call because he's got nobody in that A-gap, and he's going to pull. We did a Coach's Choice on developing a shotgun center on how we teach that pull technique. We did that. And he's going to pull, and now he's going to either log, or kick, depending on what he sees. Now, a lot of times we tell our guys on this play what's going to happen. We say, understand the formation. Rio wing counter wide Vegas is a 4-wide play. You got to think a lot of times now, center, when you pull, this guy's going to be up the field, so a lot of times we do get a kick. All right. Now, the backside tackle, the backside guard, because we call it Vegas, that tells him to cover that guy and don't give up any penetration, because we're going to actually shovel the ball in this area, in that area. So that's why we put the word Vegas on it. Because if we called real wing 25, then we'd be giving the ball right now. If we went real wing 25, we'd be giving it to the quarterback, 25 quarterback. A lot of times the linemen don't know who we're giving it to. They just hear 25. So the point is, that's a little different block. We want to keep him outside. Now we want to cover him and make sure we don't lose him. We don't want to lose him back to the play, but we don't want to have any penetration because that'll kill the play. And back, probably when we were at Tulane, when we first put this in, we would actually cut that guy. We'd actually cut that guy and scramble him to try to tie him up. All right, now, so again, the center's going to pull, and he's thinking log or kick based on what we're thinking, and we're thinking probably game plan-wise being a 4-wide thing, that this guy's going to be up the field and we'll wind up getting a kick. All right? So, if that's, in essence, if that's what we get, it would look like this. We're thinking he's up the field. We're here, combo into the backside linebacker. Blocking man. Now we're pulling the center. He gets a kick, inside hat, tackle pulls, and he's logging first backer, or sealing first backer. The F-back's rule is C-gap or man on, no threat in the C-gap, then he's going to block man on. He's going to block man on. The quarterback is now, so the backside guard, I said he's going to lock. Center's pulling, he's got a me call on this. We're combo blocking the play side tackle and guard to the backside linebacker. Working 25 Vegas. Y Vegas tells us it's going to be the reverse. All right, 25 Y Vegas. All right, now the Y is right here. This is the H, and this is the Z. This is the X. X push off and block man on. Y, normal alignment, ball snap. Quarterback's going to sprint this way, like our sprint out pass. He's going to sprint because we'll sprint a lot out of Rio wing also. We saw that a little bit when we did the Coach's Choice video on sprint protections. All right, now here comes the Y. He's running right here. He's running there on that path. The quarterback will shovel the ball to him. He'll shovel the ball to him, and then the Y is taught to press the tackle's block, his outside hip, which is this tackle pulling right here. The H's rule is cut off inside, on the inside, inside first. Z, cut off inside, and now we got it. Now, there's one coaching point on the quarterback. We tell the quarterback, if there's a man on and a man outside, if there's a man on and a man outside, two there, then we tell the quarterback, don't take a chance for a bad play. We just go ahead, sometimes we'll tell him to fake the pitch and just keep it. Fake the pitch and keep it. We did that a lot with Woody. You know, I don't know if we'd have done that as much with Brandon Streeter, who we had that didn't run as well, but that's one of Rich's coaching points that he made many years ago with the quarterback. If you had a man on, man outside, he would lock, and then we would just hope that he would go with the fake right there, chase that. He'd fake the pitch, and then he'd just keep it and keep on coming. We'd take a chance with it instead of getting out of it. All right, so basically, let's go through the rules again and make sure we got the rules versus a counter scheme. You kind of see it right there. You see how it's drawn up and how it's blocked. Let's now go through the rules, and so you'll understand it, and I'll go through some coaching points. All right, so play side, it shouldn't be any problem at all. Play side, we should be all on the same page. Play side tackle, B gap to backside, backer, post drive technique, play side guard, A gap to backside, backer, post drive technique, center. No A gap, defender weak, me call, pull, and log or trap, first man off the tackle's hit. We're thinking we're going to probably trap because of a long yardage situation or whenever we're running it, 4 wide. Now, let's say we have a player weak in that A gap. Now, instead of giving us this scheme, because that's what we're going to next, you can see right here we're going to next. Let's finish all the rules here. All right, so let's just stop right here. We won't cover this yet. All right, backside guard is B gap defender. He gets a me call. That means the center's pulling. By the center, you block 1 LOS. All right, we'll come back and finish this up in a minute. Backside tackle, you're going to pull and block 2 second level, log or seal based on what you read. We'll get to the breeze call in a minute because we got a lot of adjustments off of this play. Y, line, and run the reverse. Press the tackle's block for the inside or outside hole, depending on where it is. All right? Now, going to the X, you're basically blocking man on, push him off the line of scrimmage, the corner, the guy that covers you. Push him off. If you're he's the farthest receiver, the receiver that we're running to, our weak side receiver, like I showed you earlier on the drawing where the X was. Z is blocking man on, cut off. H is blocking man inside, cut off. F, secure the C gap, no threat, block 2 LOS, lock. Quarterback, sprint to the Y, shuffle the ball to the Y, and continue the sprint. All right, now, let's go over the next phase of the rule if they give you a different front. So if they give you, for some reason, they say they want to give you a 3 technique into the boundary. So you got your corner here, you got a backer here, a tackle there, an end there, a backer there. Okay, let's say you got that. Is that drawn up? It's pretty good, okay. All right. All right, we're in Ringo wing. We're going to run 25 Y Vegas. Here's our F, here's our Y, here's our H, here's our Z, here's our X. All right, now, these guys are going to do the same thing. He's got A gap, he's got B gap, they got post drive. Backer walks up, make a down call, block down. They got to pin those 2. Backer walks up, the left guard would make a down call, they down those 2, they pin those 2. He pins him, down blocks. All right. Covered how we teach that on that Coach's Choice video on running game. Center's going to make a U call to the guard now. He's going to block back. And now the guard pulls. We're thinking he's upfield. He'll trap him. If he hangs at all, he'll log him. And now the tackle pulls. Again, he's going to be 1 yard off the hip, 1 yard deep. We did a counter drill when we worked our shotgun running game series and drills. We showed the counter drill on how we work on this drill every day. All right, and now he's going to pull, and his rule is log and seal first backer in the box. So if he's blitzed and he's running, that'll be the next backer. Quarterback's going to take the ball at sprint. So here's the biggest change is the U call, pulling the guard. We pull the guard when there's an A-gap threat. That's what I just was talking about, the difference in the rule. So really, the difference in the rule is if there's an A-gap threat, we'll pull the guard and the tackle. Everything else is the same. F's doing the same thing. He's cutting that guy off. Y is coming right here, and we're going to get the shuffle right there, and we're running the reverse. He's pushing man on. They're cut off, cut off. All right, so nothing's changed. Now let me just show you one little coaching point, and so we can move on to the next reverse because I know it's getting tight on time. All right, and we'll draw it right here. If, and I'm just going to draw a line, if for some reason, let's say they were lined up like this, and we're going to run the reverse this way to the arrow. All right, and let's say we had gone ahead and made at center an even call, and we made a U call. And who did we make the U call to? We made it to the guard to tell him he's pulling. All right, and we're going to run 25 Y Vegas. All right, so let's go. Rules. He's blocking back. He's pulling. All right, they're combo blocking to where? To the backside linebacker, but secured A gap. So if for some reason he plugged, guard would come off and take it. All right, he's blocking back. All right, now, prior to the snap, if this guy was to cheat right there, prior to the snap, the guard makes a call. He calls breeze. That's the other coaching point. And now he blocks back, and now that tackle knows when he pulls that he basically becomes the trap. We only pull one. So anytime we have a threat of all gap blocking, then we know we can pull one. When we make that call, we echo that call all the way down for this reason. So we could have a backer there, and we could have a guy there, and a guy there walked up. And if you were blocking this play, and you were trying to run this play right here, I'm going to just draw it up. Cut off, cut off. All right, now, their combo and block right now, they're thinking backside backer. PD to backside backer, post drive technique. If they hear the breeze call, then they know now one's only pulling. One guy's pulling. So now we pull and trap. So now this is the same rules as our counter. He blocks back, he blocks back. Now their combo block goes to here. It goes to there. And now we pull one, and now he knows if that guy's up the field, he's kicking. If that guy hangs, we're going to cut his outside thigh, and we're going to get the ball on the grass. And we got angles, numbers, and grass, and we're on the perimeter. All right, so in essence, when you read these rules, I hope you understand these are off our counter rules, and when you read these rules, you've got it. You've got every adjustment out of an even front. That's all you got to remember. All right, so taking it one step further. First man off, this is saying if you got a me call, tackles hip in the A-gap defender weak. If you have an A-gap defender weak, you make a U call, and this is a center, block backside A-gap and allow no penetration. Because it's Vegas, he doesn't want to allow any penetration. He wants to make sure he covers him because we're shoveling it. That's why we like to put the word Vegas on it. All right, now, it says right here, A and B gaps covered, weak, breeze call, and block backside A gap. Don't allow any penetration. Backside guard, he's got the same rules. B gap defender, me call. B gap defender, me call. That means that center's pulling on a me call, he's blocking back. All right, he blocks number one LOS, he covers him. A gap defender, you call, you pull and block the first man off the play side tackle's hip, log or trap. A and B gaps covered, there's going to be a breeze call, and you're going to block B gap and lock technique. Don't give up penetration. Now, look down here at the backside tackle. He's the pulling tackle. He's blocking the second level. He's either going to log or seal based on his, and what I mean by seal is when he comes around and he's pulling, if for some reason center made a U call, he's blocking back, they're combo and blocking, PD and all the way to the backside backer. This guy's up the field, so the guard pulls and kicks, and now he's coming 1 yard off the hip, 1 yard deep, he's coming, he's running. We want that guy to be tight off the double team, tight off the double team, not that wide, tight off the double team, and we want him to seal the backer on the outside half. That's what I mean by seal. Disregard this first line right here. Disregard that. Disregard that. I want him to be tight off the double team and seal that. All right, so you understand what I'm saying? That's what we mean by seal. Seal and log. So now he's sealing level 2. So, in essence, to end all this up so we can go on to the next one, let's go lock and seal based on the read that he sees. Breeze call, you become the trap. Log, first man off the tackle's hip. That's what we just got through talking about. All right, now we're going to go to the same scheme. Now, we've already been through the quarterback, F-backs rules. We're going to go to the same scheme or same play, but we're going to go to a different blocking scheme based on a front. All right, now we're going to go to shotgun reverse schemes, counter wide Vegas versus an odd call, because this basically changes things. All right, play side tackle. Now, what is an odd call? That's the first question you're probably going to say. What in the world is an odd call? Well, I've done about 15 lectures for Coach's Choice right now, and I've covered what an odd call is and an even call is based on our rules. Odd means both guards are uncovered. Both guards are uncovered. So if the center makes an odd call, we're going with the odd call, and they're blocking it. They have no decision in the process. If he says odd, that means, now they could have 2 4 eyes or 2 guys inside the guards, inside the tackles, but if he declares us as an odd defense, then we're blocking odd, and that's the rules. That's what they have to block. They have no choice into the matter. The center, he kind of controls the blocking schemes. All right, so we make an odd call. That means the tackles are covered and the guards are uncovered. All right, here we go. Tackle, play side tackle, slow step, big gap. Collect the man on to the first backer. All right, so you understand exactly what an odd defense is at Clemson. I'm going to show you something. We consider an odd defense at Clemson. I'm just going to draw up what the defense should look like. We consider this defense right here a 3-4. 3 down, 4 backers. That's what we consider an odd. We've been lecturing all week, and that's what we consider an odd. A 3-4. So, when if we're going to run this play versus an odd, there's been years that we wouldn't run it, but we've had a lot of success running counter plays versus an odd, because for some reason we'll do some kind of misdirection flow here, and we'll get them to float. And we've been able to do all right on these plays because we have 2 guys pulling play side. We have 2 guys pulling play side. That's one reason why we love this reverse counter wide Vegas, is because we have 2 players pulling to the play side with a guy on the perimeter. So we have 2 lead blockers on their 2 lead blockers with a skilled athlete on the perimeter. So, in essence, this guy has got to block play side tackle because we're going to run 25 Y Vegas. This is our X. This is our F. This is our Y. This is our H. This is our Z. All right, we're going to run 25 Y Vegas. So this guy has to understand he's got to collect either that guy or that guy. There's no decision. He's got to do that. All right. So if they're bringing this guy off the edge, gentlemen, if they're bringing him, then basically we tell this young man to slow step with his inside foot, stay square with his shoulders. If that guy's coming, he's coming right now, he collects him, he just blocks him and takes him on down inside. If they're not bringing this guy, then this guy's up the field for contain. He slow steps, then he works back outside on the track. We're going to get this action on sprint out, and he'll seal that backer. So it isn't hard to do. All it is just a coaching point. Kids got to understand it, got to do it. All right, so that's what his rule means by collecting. He's going to collect the B-gap defender to level 2. That's what he's going to do. The play side guard is real simple. his rule is A-gap. I'm blocking A-gap to backside backer. Use post-drive technique. We've been talking about it all day, and we've got a video on nothing but showing how we teach those techniques, run game techniques. All right, now, he's going to take that post-drive technique, so he's going to drop step, he's going to work his angle. Center's going to shotgun snap. If he shotgun snaps away, he's going to drop that foot. Then he's going to pound this foot in. They got that secured. They're going to press upfield, and they're going to combo off on that linebacker. Of course, the center's got his eyes on that linebacker. If he tries to run through, he'll come off. We did a drill on that, linebacker under on combos and how we handle that. But he's responsible for the A-gap weak. All right, the backside tackle, or backside guard, excuse me. We're going to pull two. I just talked about pulling two, so that's what we're going to do. We know we're going to do that, so if we're pulling two, the rule is he's going to pull and block the first thing off the hip. He's going to pull the guard, and he's going to trap the first thing off the hip or log, depending on what he sees. So if for some reason he came under, he collected that, then the guy he would trap, probably because he's coming up the field, would be the bandit or the backer, right there, the backer, right there, running up the field. The backside tackle is going to make sure he takes a good deep step, and now he is going to make sure that he's a 1 yard off the hip and 1 yard deep, and he's going to think, read it. We're thinking four-wide offense, gun, that somebody's going to be running up the field, so we're probably going to get a trap with the first guy and a log with the second guy. So we're thinking we're pulling, and we're going to probably wind up working hard up the field to seal the linebacker. Now, his job is C-gap. All right, his job is C-gap. So if for some reason this is a 5 technique, then he may cut his split down a little bit, and he's got to drop cross, and he's got to run at that angle to cut that off. He's coming here running, he's sprinting. Again, I said something earlier. I made a point to you earlier. If there's a man on the tackle, a man outside, there's just two outside. What we used to do versus an odd is we let the quarterback read that guy. If that guy was running hard that angle, he'd just keep on running. If that guy was running up the field, he'd shuffle it. He's been doing that all week long on things that we do, so he would just shuffle it. H is going to cut off inside, Z's going to cut off inside, Y's getting the shuffle, and X is blocking man on. That's 25 Y Vegas versus an odd scheme, a 3-4 scheme. Now, we got a counter to the quarterback out of this formation. We have a counter Vegas to a wide out of this formation, and we have a pass formation that we hit for touchdowns. So the thing is, we have a package. Hopefully you'll buy more than just this video and you'll see the package. All right, now let's jump the rules back up there so you see the rules and you understand the rules, and then we'll go on to the next reverse. All right, here we go. We got a shotgun reverse scheme, counter wide Vegas versus an odd. All right, play side tackle, you slow step, B gap, collect man on, first backer inside. I went over that, I drew it up. I think you understand it. Play side guard, A-gap post-drive technique to the backside backer. We went over that. Center, backside A-gap, post-drive technique. He's got any run through, backside backer. Place backside guard is going to pull and block the first man off the hip of the tackle, trap or log. We're thinking trap, depending on the read. Backside tackle, pull and log and seal, second level, depending on the read. Y, align and run reverse, press the tackle's block for the inside-outside hole. See, we want the Y to press the pulling tackle's hip, outside hip, and read off of that. He knows that we're trying to log. He knows that we're reading off of him and pressing that point. The X blocks the man on, use a push off the line of scrimmage so we can get the corner backed up. Z, block man on, cutoff technique. H, block inside, cutoff technique, quarterback sprint, and shuffle the ball and continue to sprint. All right, now there was one little thing I wanted to cover. Because coaches ask me this, what do you do all the time versus an odd if this happens? And I want to make sure you understand something. It's the same rules we just went over. The same exact rules versus even are the same. If a linebacker walks up in that gap, all right, and there's like, for example, this was a 4-eye, this was a guy, and the quarterback had made an odd call. Let's say not the quarterback, but the center had made an odd call. And they were lined up like that. And let's say that's a backer, that's a backer. It's an odd. This guy was deep and he walked up. And there was a 4-eye there. All right. Even though he said odd, that center said odd, and they're thinking odd scheme. The guard's rule is A-gap play side. His rule, backside A-gap. His rule, if there's anybody in the B-gap, is what? Breeze, breeze, breeze. He blocks back and we pull one. All right. So if he makes the breeze call, then here's what has to happen. He blocks that. He blocks that. He collects that. He blocks that. He pulls, and he has to take one. And now at least we don't have a dead play. At least we're at least getting the ball to where? To the grass. We're going to hope that the sprint out action, we're hoping that maybe he's got him man or something like that, but the sprint out action will get that backer to move. We don't have any blockers left, but right now we have no penetration and no gaps either. And that we can flip the ball to him and we can still get this guy blocked, this bandit. If he sinks, he's around the horn of the ceiling and we get the ball to the grass. We're hoping that this guy goes with the sprint out action. Just what I want to make sure you understand, you got to have the same rules here, the same concepts. You can't pull two if you got gaps, if you got gap problems. All right, we'll move to another reverse. The next reverse we're going to move to is we ran this play a little bit at Tulane. I love this play. We hadn't run it as much at Clemson. Maybe ran it a little bit in 99. But this is the shotgun reverse scheme off the dart scheme. All right? And we're going to draw up the even call and the odd call and go over that real quick for you. But basically, we love running this more out to the odd call. To the even call. But the dart scheme, we did a lecture with Coach's Choice on our dart runs. All right, and here's the reverse off of it. Play side tackle. If you get an even call, you know one of the guards are covered. Play side tackle is going to block 2 LOS. And what we would do probably is pass set it because it's a 4-wide offense. That's what our base deal is. We could game plan that and base reach the guy. But right now, as a base rule, we tell the kids going right in it, go in it, we're going to pass set it. Play side guard, you're going to combo block 1 LOS to backside linebacker. Center, you're going to combo block number 1 LOS to backside linebacker. All right, so responsibility-wise, really, he has the A-gap and he has the backside A-gap. Play side, backside. That's the responsibilities. Same rules. Backside guard, you got an even call, you're going to get a base cutoff. He's going to get a base cutoff. Because we're only going to pull one now, men. We're pulling one on our dart scheme, just the tackle, backside tackle, or the guard versus odd. Base cutoff and allow no penetration. The Vegas tells him, do not give up penetration. Backside tackle is going to pull and block the play side backer, lob backer, or trap based on your read. I'll go over that. Backside Y, we're now giving the ball to the F-back. Everybody thinks we're giving the reverse to the Y now. So we're going to give the reverse to the F-back. So Y is going to cut off man on or inside. X is going to block man on, push him off, and get him deep. Z is going to cut off man on. And H, of course, is cut off man on inside. F-back is going to align his normal wing position 2x2, jab, step, play side. So he's going to jab, step, and sell. We're selling the sprint out pass because we've lined up in this formation, trips, wing, and we've sprinted. So he's going to line up 2x2. He's going to jab here hard, counter, open, and now he's going to get the shuffle underneath. He's going to counter open. He's going to get the shuffle underneath. Receive the ball, press the outside hip of the tackle. All right, quarterback, sprint to the shuffle, sprint and shuffle the ball to F. Versus 2 outside, keep the ball on the perimeter, coaching point. That's kind of what we were going over earlier. Let me go over that. Let me go over this and draw it up first so you can see it. Trying to move quick, men, because we don't have a lot of time in a 45-minute, 50-minute lecture to cover a lot of things, but I wanted to get as much as I could. So we're going to line up in a formation called Rio Wing. This is our F. We're going to be 2 by 2. I just talked about that on the depth. This is our Y. This is our H. This is our Z. This is our X. We saw our sprint out protection game, and we saw this formation, and we sprint, and we throw routes over here all day long. Then we come out of here, and we start like we're sprinting. We're sprinting right here at quarterback. We're sprinting here at F. It looks like we're sprinting, and then we're going to come back and run a reverse. That's how it's set up. All right, now, so he gets an even call. The center makes an even call. Again, even tells everybody their blocking rules. All right, with that formation there, we get probably ends thinking they're going to be up the field charging anyway, because that's 4 wide offense, almost 5 wide. You got the 2 by 2 with the F, so it's you got to play it like a 5 wide offense, and now we got a nice run out of it. This guy right here, pass sets, that guy runs up the field, he just keeps him out there. They combo block, PD, using their combo block technique, PD technique to the backside linebacker. He base cuts off, but now he hears the word Vegas, and this is 23F Vegas. He hears the word Vegas. So what it tells him to do is don't base cut off the guy on a half a man and let the guy penetrate the gap and give us all of these problems. I said at Tulane, what we used to do is cut the guy because it was so quick. But now what we do now is we just kind of center the guy up. Center the guy up. We do still cut him occasionally. Depends on what kind of guy we're playing. But most of the time, as a base rule, if I was teaching it from day one, I'd say cut the sucker. Put your hat in his belt and drive your feet. Stay right down the middle of the guy. I don't want the guy penetrating this gap and being a problem here. Get him, tie him up. All right. Now, here, the tackle, he's pulling. And he's going to be tight off the double team, and then he's going to block that linebacker. If he's at depth, he's a logged player. He's logging the play side half. Logging the play side half. I did a video for a tape for Coach's Choice on technique run blocking, and that's what we talked about, his technique there. We want his inside leg to the crotch on fitting that linebacker. Just, all right. Now we've got this quarterback sprinting this way, regular action, jab step, he's coming here, he's going to shovel it right there, and now we got a nice little running play right there going. X, blocks man on, pushes, Y cuts off, H cuts off, Z cuts off. We got a nice little running play, 23F Vegas. Nice running play. All right, out of a 5 wide concept. All right, now the other thing, let's say that the quarterback got up there and there were 2 outside. There were 2 outside on the line. What we have done in the past years, what Coach Rodriguez did when we were at Tulane, is he just let the quarterback, if there were 2 out there, instead of getting out of a play, he basically knew one was going to chase the tackle, probably, and he was betting on this guy coming hard, so he's chasing the tackle. And then the next guy, he felt like the shuffle fake would freeze that guy, and he'd just keep the quarterback running. And that's what we've done in the past. So you say, gosh, mate, that sounds stupid. But the point is, if they had 2 outside, he was betting on, he looked at the secondary, how they were rotated. Safety probably was over here. He's betting on this guy coming flat, this guy coming hard here, and then chasing, and then chasing, and he just kept it. Now, the reason he couldn't shuffle this one, where in the past, see, we could have shoveled this if it had been an odd call, but we have 2 to read right now. See, we have 2 to read. Let me explain something to you, because a while ago we talked about counter Vegas versus an odd, all right? And this is counter wide Vegas, 25 Vegas, 3 down versus odd. I'll go over the dart Vegas versus an odd in a minute. But here you go. You got the F back cutting off, and you're pulling 2. Well, this guy's blocked, so you only got to deal with one. So the quarterback knows now he can read one, and the shuffle could take place. When he's reading one, the shuffle can take place. If the guy's up the field, he shuffles. If the guy squeezes, he just runs. So that was the beautiful thing versus an odd scheme. So let me draw up Dart Vegas versus odd. Didn't get that done. If we knew we were getting an odd scheme and we were running Dart Vegas, guys, the first thing we would do is change the formation. If we knew we were playing an odd team, we would go rip wing 23 F Vegas. All right, now we got F back here. We got Y here. We got Z here. We got H here. We got X here, and now we got enough numbers to be sound. We could still sprint out here and run a crease package or do anything we want to do, but now we can protect overhangs because an odd is what, a 3-4 scheme, and I already said that an odd's a 3-4 scheme. So if it's a 3-4 scheme, and here's our four linebackers, our 3 down. Now we understand that would be sound. So the quarterback now knows we run our 23, our dart scheme versus an odd. I did a tape on Coach's Choice video. We changed the blocking scheme. We combo block now. He's A-gap to the backside backer. He pulls now, covers. He blocks man on. We can either pass set the guy, or we can, right now if we had taught him pass set versus that, he would set quick. If that guy came under, then he has a covering. And this guard, that's why we square pull him so he could go all the way around the horn. H would have to block man on or man inside, first backer. He's got to get to that guy. He's got to get to him. Now tackle, base cuts off that guy. B-gap pick is what his rule is on an odd. So we got everybody blocked. He jab steps like we're running sprint out. He comes flat down the line, and now the quarterback would just read one. If guy's up the field, he pitches it. If guy's in the hip, he keeps it. Now, guys, let's just remember, if he's in the hip right there, we got seven right there. We got 7 right there in the perimeter. There's 7, there's 8, there's 9, there's strong safety, there's 10. Who's covering the F would be a free safety covering the F, right? Have to if this guy's rushing. So that's 0 coverage. So who's going to come off on the quarterback? I mean, if it's 0 coverage and this guy's going that way, what's that guy going to be doing? He's going that way if this guy's blitzing. So if this guy's there, we shovel it. We got a nice play versus 0 coverage. Figure it out. It's a good scheme. It's something that we've had a lot of success with through the years, and it's something off your dart scheme. We're at Tulane, and we just talked about this would be 23 F Vegas, and now we're just going to pull the guard on the dart scheme, and this is an odd scheme. This would be a 3-4 scheme, and this is another reason why we go rip wing. So we got him to handle the overhang like we talked about. So you got the H to block the overhang right here. So he can block the overhang. He gets inside there. He's got man on there. All right, we'll look at the end zone for the line blocking. Let's just look at the perimeter first. He's got that guy cut off. He's got him cut off. Quarterback sprints. Remember I said something about now the quarterback only has to deal with this guy. If this guy would have been on the line and he'd been coming, then the quarterback, if he'd been coming real flat, he could have pulled it and kept running, and we'd still have a nice play. But they're in some type of 3 deep or whatever, and he's playing zone. So when the F-back goes in motion, the tackle blocks. He got an odd call. He's blocking there, and now the quarterback sprints. He can just get a little shuffle. We got a nice little play going. Now let's just look at it from the end zone so we can study it a little bit better. Now we do a bad job on the combo block. I just wanted to make sure you saw the action. It looks like we gave up some penetration here, right there. Yeah, by the center. They do a good job. They get penetration on the combo block. The center don't get over enough, and we give up a little penetration on the guards pulling. He kind of stabs it, probably saves us there. But we had to get a little ground up, and that's not what we want to do. We'd like to keep that guy on his grass. And he is a shade. That makes it tougher on Rod. But point is that wasn't good. Now, we decided, I guess, that ball game, we decided to base reach it, I guess. You know, you can pass center or base reach it. I said that is basically game plan. But you got numbers. You got the ball given to the F back in space. And you got a nice little run. All right, this is Warwick Tulane playing Army. And we came out and we went ahead and played them, and we ran this play out of the boundary. So we put our Y in the boundary, and we went rip wing and ran the same play I just talked about. Now we're going to run a different reverse. We're going to run 25 Y Vegas, and we're going to pull 2. And remember I said something about this formation creates this guy getting upfield? That's a good job by that guard. So we got a U-call. That's a good job by that guard coming in here and cutting this guy right here, because we got that secured. And the beautiful thing about it, we got all the levels blocked. We got the H blocking inside, man on. He's blocking man on. We got him blocked, and now we got a lineman coming for him. And then we got a combo block to that linebacker there. And then we got the F back securing the edge, blocking the C gap. And then we got the shuffle right there, so we should have a nice play here. And we do. We got a nice big play, big game for us. So let's look at it from the end zone. All right, so they came out in an even scheme. So the center would have made an even call, and he's going to make a U call to the guard, so he's going to block back. These guys here, the left guard, Jerry Godfrey, and this is Corey Sewell, they're going to combo block the 3 to the backside backer and protect the A gap. So they're going to basically post drive this 3 to the backside backer, just like we talked about. Michael Gamella is going to pull the right guard with the U-call, and he's going to get him a good log here, and he cuts. And then we got Bernard Robinson's going to pull the backside tackle, come all the way around, and he's going to get on the horn. This is our tailback. He's going to block the C-gap area. It's our F-back. So he got his hat inside, got his C-gap cut off, got the handoff protected nicely. We got no penetration. We post drive the 3. He goes underneath. Looks like Godfrey picks him up. Now the tackle's going to climb, wall the linebacker. Right there. Corey, don't let him cross your face. That's a mistake that we make. We let him cross our face. Bernard comes out. Now, I don't know why, and I'll be honest with you, that's a rule. Oh, I know what happened. Bernard, for some reason, he's pulling around. His eyes are riveted on this backer right here, and he cracks his backer. And really, there's no reason for this. This Y is wrong. He needs to stay on his guy, and our tackle stays on the first backer, play side. And that kind of confused Bernard. But Bernard, he got a chance to play in the National Football League, a good athlete. He adjusts. He just misses the block. But that's where the confusion was, on the perimeter. Y shouldn't do that. All he's got to do is stay on his rule. First man inside, own the inside, block him. Bernard comes on around. He knows he's got that guy. That's who he's riveted his eyes on.